Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but still want to have a life. I'm Jared, and as always, I'm joined by my partner, Johanna. Hey, Johanna.
Hi, Jared.
What are we going to talk about today?
How to talk to parents about parenting.
Why would you need to do that?
Well, quite honestly, if you do it right, a lot of them are thankful. Like, parenting's hard. It's super hard.
That's hard enough. I don't really need advice on it from some teacher.
Yeah, if that's the way you paint it, then yes, they don't want your help.
Well, I don't, so let's hear you talk about it.
Okay. So parents can struggle because they're with their kid all the time. And if you're not a parent, parenting is different from teaching.
Yes.
So like the rules and the structures and routines that you have as a teacher, parents aren't able to create that to the same effectiveness because they don't have a herd or a tribe that they're doing. And although parenting is like technically their job, it's not like their job.
What do you mean?
Okay. So I have taught over 10,000 students. So therefore, I have the opportunity to mess up a bunch of other kids before I got my own kid. But even once I got my own children, like if I can get over 50% of the kids to agree to something that I have said, then all the rest of them do it too. But with parenting, you don't have that same relationship where they like feel the need to be the same as the herd. Because a lot of times like at most you're parenting probably twins or triplets. You don't have enough kids at the same age needing the same instruction. Right? Like, let's say you have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. You can't parent all three of those kids the same way and create some sort of structure that's routine and works necessarily.
Have you talked about this in the teaching context much? Am I not remembering episodes?
What do you mean? Like any classroom management?
Broadly speaking, you're saying classroom management involves just like social group manipulation, where you influence the easiest to influence majority.
Yes, we've talked about that. And then we've talked about your outliers and tricks for how to manage your outliers. Well, basically, right. Parenting is a constant outlier.
Yeah. You have just outliers?
All you have is outliers as a parent. And so there's a couple of things to know when you go into this conversation. Is one, you don't want to have the conversation with the parent.
You can have the conversation with the grandparent?
No, you're going to have the conversation with the kid and the parent's going to listen.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a prime example. You have a child who is in middle school who has reached a point in their life where they have more obligations than they can just memorize. And so they're not wanting to use any sort of planner or writing things down system.
I have a big memory though.
Yes, that's what they think too. But yet, it's a train wreck. The parent knows it's a train wreck. And what's happening is it's putting you and the parent against each other because you're assigning homework. The kid's not doing the homework. The parent doesn't know the homework. The parent is mad at you because their kid doesn't have the homework written down or communicated. And so they want to put that on you, the teacher. Like, why aren't you telling me what my kid needs to do? And
that's a good question. What is this, like 1984? Did they had to have something in their Trapper Keeper? Like, isn't this all online now?
But that's what they do. They want all online. I want all my homework assignments online. That's a huge burden for a teacher. And it's not who should have the burden. This is a 14-year-old child or a 13-year-old child or a 12-year-old child. Like, they are to the age where they need to start taking ownership. But see, you can't as a teacher, you don't want to become, now it's the parent and the child against you, the teacher, right? So you don't want to do this like, well, it's their obligation to write it down conversation where it's you and the parent and the child is on the outskirts. That is ineffective. That creates enemies. That will not work. That's going to do the opposite of what you want.
No, I thought this, wait, what don't you want?
You want to help the parent. You're going to talk to the parent about parenting.
You and the parent against the child.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Okay. So here's how you have to organize this. Conferences are a great time to make this happen. Make sure the kid goes to conferences. Then, if the kid can't go, like I do this all the time and there's no conference, there's no set conference, but the kid is literally in the middle, both figuratively and literally. The kid is in the middle, right?
Like at the table where you're sitting.
At the table where you are sitting, the kid is in the middle. You want everyone to be on their own sides. You want to form a triangle, right? You don't want you and the kid on one side of the table and the parent on the other side of the table.
I've got that Jimmy Eat World song in my head right now. I'm so in the middle.
Okay. So you want to have it be question-based. So you are going to trust that the very fact that this parent is already in a situation where you have the kid there and you there and the parent is there, that there is stuff going on that you can build on.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all at the table. You are making sure that you've set it up so it's kind of like a triangle. Everyone is either on their own side. No two people are on one side team. And then you're going to run it as questions.
All right, Socrates.
Okay. To the child. You're feeling stressed. You want to be
yes. I'm stressed.
Yeah, and let's pretend they aren't stressed.
Nah, I'm good. I'm pretty good.
Then turn to the parent. Is there stress at home over expectations and obligations that aren't known or aren't clearly communicated? Like, oh yeah. Okay. So instead you just keep asking the questions. Okay. What are some causes for this stress?
Who are you asking there?
It doesn't matter. Like you're diving in.
We not always sure if there's homework to do. And so we ask if little Jimmy Eat World has done his homework, and he says, yeah, we're not even sure if there was homework.
Right. And so what are some of the expectations at school when it comes to needing to do work outside of school? What do we expect you to do?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, so let's think about the classroom space. Where in the classroom can you get the information about what you need to be doing at home?
On the board? On
the board. Now, let's say they didn't know. Then you just keep taking it further. Oh, well, maybe we need to go to the classroom and look. You just keep it question going. Okay, so it's on the board. Okay, so it's on the board. And so what's our expectation with something that's on the board when it comes to doing work at home?
I don't know.
No. What do you think your peers are doing when they see work on the board? What do we make time for every day in class?
I don't know.
Okay, so let's do some reteaching. And literally, if I had to, I would march them to my classroom. I would put them in their seat where theoretically, if homework was the issue, right, there would be a space on my board where I am clearly and consistently writing down what the expectations are. So that the parent is seeing, A, they're seeing you reteach. B, they're seeing oh, this is my child literally not stepping up to the plate, right? And then, so let's pretend the conversation goes on. Okay, now the kid has communicated that they know there's stuff to write down every time. They know how to write it down. You've gone through where they're supposed to write it down. A lot of schools even provide the planner for the child. And now it's time for the parenting part. So you now know Jimmy,
Jimmy Eat World.
What?
It's all one
Jimmy
one
what?
name, like A Tribe Called Quest. It's not Quest, it's A Tribe Called Quest. It's Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World?
Yeah.
Okay. You now know Jimmy Eat World. Why, I don't even know how to do this. But now we need a way for you to be held accountable so that you take the time to do this. Because your body's not going to want to. Your brain's not going to want to. It's going to want to be lazy. That's what makes us human. And so we need a way for you to be consistent. So here's what we're going to do. Where is a good place, a central place, now you're talking to the parent, where Jimmy Eat World can put this planner so it can be checked every single day?
Like at home or at school?
At home.
We have cubbies right inside the door where they come in and put their coats and stuff.
Okay, so if it's in the cubby, are you going to remember to look there? Or is there a better place that it could be put? Or does that feel like a good fit?
I mean, that could work on my desk, I guess.
Okay, so maybe putting it on your desk.
Because I have a not teacher desk at home where I have all my stuff.
Okay.
That's how I organize my life, is I have a desk.
All right. So the expectation is that Jimmy Eat World is gonna go
Thank
home, and I'm sure I'm making some joke I don't even understand. And he's gonna put the planner on your desk, and then you're willing to take 5 minutes every day when you get home to look at the planner and to have him show you the work that he completed that was in this planner.
Yes.
Okay, does that
in
seem...
this theoretical parenting example.
Does that seem reasonable? Like, is that something that will
in
work for you guys?
In my real life, I'm not sure I would want to work that hard for my kids' grades.
Really?
Yeah, like...
Well, but see, you keep it going. So then you're like, okay, so what should be the consequence if you have to ask where the planner is?
I don't know.
Well, what's something that Jimmy Eat World really likes? And he really likes being able to do it every single day.
I don't have kids this age.
Technology, cell phone.
Some screen thing that you hate.
Yeah. Okay. So, and we're going to agree here right now that for every class,
I used to play Rocket League.
Including PE, the class is written down and then the word none is written down, right? That every class has to be documented for it to count. Okay. And so let's say you document 7 of your 8 classes. Are you going to be able to use technology or like a hairdryer or something that literally it would really upset the child to not have access to? I have had parents do anything that plugged in. Like if it requires batteries.
Do it Amish style.
Or, it was Amish style. Like they were so into this conversation, they went just hardcore because they were tired of the fight, right? You spend most of the conversation building up like just how clear this process is for the kid and just how much the obligation is on the child, right? Because they are growing up. They are getting to the point where they're going to be ready for their permit. Like the baby world is left to them. To the parent, that child was just 5. Right? Like that child was just helpless. They don't realize what the expectation needs to be in the way that you do because you've seen the cycle. You know from the hundreds of kids you've been exposed to what average is, and they aren't exposed to that. So you have to help paint that picture for them. And then you have to make them feel empowered as a parent to have control because now, quite honestly, you get to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to call the parent out on it. Like a month will go in, everything will be great. All of a sudden, the planner will stop getting done. You have to call the parent and be like, so is this system not working? Do we need to come up with a new system? A lot of times they'll be like, we just got busy. I'm sorry. We'll get back on board. But you can do this.
Like a coach, kind of.
Yeah. You can do this for sleeping. Like if you have a kid that's struggling to pay attention and you start talking to them and it's that they're not sleeping, they're not going to bed on time, the same process works. If it's that they have friends that just aren't a good influence on them. I've had conversations, really hard conversations with parents about this, only it was connected to alcohol and drugs. Like this method works for all sorts of problems, and I'm not going to tell you it's not going to take time. What we've just described is like a 20-minute conversation. But I found that it's really effective.
All right, let's see if I can recap it then.
Okay, go for it, Jared.
So parenting is different from teaching.
Yeah.
So you are going to, like Bill Clinton and Dick Morris, you're going to triangulate.
Yes.
You want to have a conversation with the kid and the parents.
Yep.
Where you're kind of talking to the kid.
Yes, a lot of times the kid will be there and the teacher will talk to the parent. And that is
Don't do that.
No, everything goes through the filter of the kid. Everything goes through the filter of the kid. Only once it's been through the filter of the kid so much, then do you then redirectional. Now the parent is the filter. You are asking the questions of the parent, and then you are triangulating back to the kid, right? So...
And it's question-based.
Question.
And you're just walking them down the path of where their failure to take responsibility is happening.
Yeah, where the kid is the point of the struggle.
You want them to engage in something that they're not engaging hard enough on.
Or they are, but this was a long time ago, but I remember having a conversation like this with a parent and a kid, and it was connected to drugs. And the kid just broke down and was like, the people you are wanting me to spend time with are the very people that are exposing me to this. And the parent was shocked because it wasn't where you would think you would have access to drugs. Like, from the parents' perspective, they were doing everything right. And they wanted to, it just never occurred to them that what they were doing, what they thought that they were doing to keep their kids safe was doing the opposite.
Yeah.
So some bad, hard stuff can come out.
Well, that's a pretty extreme tangent there in the middle of the recap.
I know, but I do want to tell you that if it's at this point, the type of kids we're talking about, like, there's a reason why stuff's falling apart, and get into the source of the problem. But
you're Socratically walking them to where the breakdown is.
Yep.
So the parents can see it for themselves, kind of.
Yep.
And then once they see it for themselves, then you can engage the parents on ideas of a repeatable, simple engagement by them that will help to correct it.
Yeah, and I'll give another piece of advice. So, like, for example, I've helped another teacher have a conversation like this, and they were a math teacher, and the breakdown was not that the kid wasn't writing down the homework. The breakdown was not that the parent wasn't trying to be engaged. The breakdown is that they were, as a family, spending hours, and they didn't know how to do the work. The kid didn't know how to do the work. The parent didn't know how to help the child. And so what the solution is that they were to spend 20 minutes on the homework, because the homework the teacher was assigning for the average kid was only taking 15. And the parent was then just supposed to draw a line at whatever problem that they ended on and then sign it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that counted as full credit. And that helped find that this kid actually had a lot bigger issues with math that weren't diagnosed. So, like, it doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily be the child's fault or the parent's fault, but you're going to find the problem. Whatever it is, this will find it.
Got it.
Okay.
Is that a recap?
Okay. Did we do everything?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Johanna.
Yes. Hopefully this can, because they do. Parents need this help with parenting.
So yeah, so it's a way you can lead a horse to water, kind of.
Yeah, like sometimes you have to tell, a parent, like, your child needs chores. Like, the problem is they don't know how to handle responsibility. Well, they don't know how to handle responsibility because they don't have any.
You gotta.
Yeah, you can't just tell them that. Yeah, You got to dive in and realize like, oh, this child goofs around all the time because all they ever have to do is whatever brings them joy. like
like school and stuff.
Your parent is breaking their back to bring you joy. You're old enough now to shoulder some of this burden. So what's your chore going to be?
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah.
You got to help out around the house.
Yeah.
And the parent is thankful that you're the one saying like, okay, so this is your obligation now. And this is the consequence now. Like that we just all agreed to. And then I'm the one that in a month when the kid starts falling apart is going to be the one placing a phone call being like, how's it going?
Which is another recap thing that I kind of missed, since we're in the recap and we're saying new things, is you actually know a lot more about like the development of the individual kid's maturity level relative to other people of their age than any parent does.
Yeah, they don't know that part.
Like, how much is it time for them to take responsibility for themselves and stuff? Maybe they have older
But it's even not the
kids and
same.
stuff.
Two kids cannot be the same. What you bring to the table is the average. Like,
Yeah.
you know what the median looks like.
And so you can help say, no, it's time for this in a way that could be really helpful to the parents.
Well, even saying things like, is this something your peers struggle with?
Yeah.
Like, the kid saying, like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, am I having to give every kid in the class 5 or 6 reminders? No. How many reminders do you think I give the other kids in the class? None or one.
Right.
Like, I mean, they'll... Or I don't know. Well, I don't know is probably a sign that I'm not giving them.
All right, we got to stop or we're going to have to recap the recap.
Okay.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thanks, Jared.
Joanna, do you get questions from listeners ever?
Yes, we do.
How do those listeners send you questions?
They send us an email.
Where does that email go?
teachertalk4teachers@gmail.com.
But wait, what kind of 4? How do I do 4?
All of the 4s. They can do a number 4. They can write the word FOR, or they can do FOUR, even though that one doesn't quite make sense.
Well, perfect. teachertalk4teachers@gmail.com.
Yes.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you, Jared.
Teacher Talk, the podcast for teachers who are lifers but still want to have a life.